Let me do that one again. I can set that one up better.
Are you going to mention her clit?
Maybe. Probably not, though. That's that'll be a little much. All right.
Yeah, that was
your giant clit.
Say it with your balls today.
All right, welcome to episode 5 of The Rear Naked Toke. I'm Daniel, this is Adrian, and with us as always is Fathead DC Cormier, aka Mayor McCheese, who joins us for another episode. Let me go ahead and take a rip of the sponsored Coastal Sun of the week, which is GMO garlic cookies. Get a start here really quick.
McMayor, not much for words again this time around. Always kind of quiet when it comes to our episodes.
I mean, how rude, John. Why you gotta be so mean?
We'll load another one right now. And we are here for episode 5. We'll be covering UFC 277. Peña versus Nunez 2, the rematch. And before we do that, let's give out some awards from last week. We'll make it really quick. The very first award we'll be giving out is our weekly Smokies You Got Knocked the Fuck Out award. And that one's going to Hannah 24K Goldie. Congratulations. I mean, you made us some money. That was an easy parlay for us. We knew that the meatball was going to take you out pretty quickly. And yeah, unfortunately, it's not the greatest award you receive, but you do receive it this week.
You got knocked the fuck out!
So congratulations. And one more award to give out, absolutely the submission of the week. The Rear Naked Toke submission of the week award goes absolutely to Patty the Batty. The only submission on the card actually that night. And the way you lit up the O2 Arena, man, when that happened deserves an award on its own. So
Absolutely, man. Yeah, Patty the Batty, Pimlet deserves it. And let's just hope that the next time around he gets into the octagon there, it's against his big rival there, Elor, I think it's Elor Tapuri.
I want that blonde bitch, that patty bitch.
Right.
Tapuri has been calling him out for a while now, so it'll be a great fight to watch there.
And I don't know if there was other big news, if you guys haven't heard or not, this is just like massive news. Dana White over the weekend after Patty Batty's win apparently just miraculously grew a set of hair. And there you go right there, man. It's just like pretty crazy stuff, man, that happened over the weekend. So
looks like Patty's drunk uncle. Doesn't want to run on the weekends.
All right. So congratulations to Hannah 24K Goldie. And to Patty the Batty, you do get a free 1/8 of the GMO garlic cookies. The only way you can receive that, of course, is in person. I doubt we'll be getting a in-person interview anytime soon. I mean, you're skyrocketing your way up to fame there. So, I mean, we'll cross our fingers and never say never, but congratulations, you guys. And
job well done.
Job well done.
So, for the Rear Naked Toke episode 5, we will be covering this week's stellar, I think, in this case, card, UFC 277, Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Peña 2, coming to you from the American Airlines Arena out in Dallas, Texas, of course, this Saturday, July 30th. First fight on this main card is a pretty good, I think, match on paper. The odds are saying otherwise, of course, here, but it's a light heavyweight bout between Magomed Ankalaev, coming in at 17-1, versus 36-16 veteran and Anthony Lionheart Smith. Of course, everybody knows Anthony Lionheart Smith. By that nickname, my brother and I like to just refer to him as the Toxic Avenger. Or Toxie, for that matter. So, great. So great fight, like I mentioned here on paper, Daniel. Ankalaev making the ranks up here, moving up the ranks, of course, making a case for himself here to potentially get in there and get a shot at that light heavyweight title here soon. He's got a tough test here in front of him with Anthony Smith, like I mentioned, a vet. Both of them coming off recent wins, of course. Smith with that big win against Ryan Spann, and then Ankalaev has just been just on terror himself here. You know, beating most recently another good vet in Thiago Santos, excuse me. So for what it's worth on this, I do believe that Ankalaev should get the win, but this is the one fight on this card that I'm actually going to go with the huge underdog in Toxie.
You can tell all your scum friends that things are going to change in this town. I'm not just another pretty face.
And I think he's going to come through, and I think he's going to show that veteran, I think, just toughness, you know, and really he knows the way around that octagon very well. And it's going to be, I think for me, upset of the night here. So I'm going with Anthony Toxie Smith, man.
No sticky and no washy.
Right on. Same here.
Oh no! I thought for sure you were going to go Ankalaev. All right, well, what's your reasoning here?
So I'm trying to play this fight out in my head, and I think a lot of Ankalaev fans are expecting him to get the decision win, the way he has been able to do in this past fight. But in a division where heavy hands are thrown, you know, I think that Anthony Smith has this way of pressuring forward, and whether it's knocking you out or whether it's stunning you and then being able to get you to the ground, or whether it's just through some type of who knows? I mean, the fact is Lionheart has this way of hurting you early on, and I think that's what we're going to see Saturday night. Unfortunately, Ankalaev is going to run into a brick wall Saturday night on his you know, I think he was expecting probably to get this win and probably looking past Anthony Lionheart Smith. But you can't look past this guy, you know, and I'm sure he's taking him very seriously, but I don't think he's not gonna get the job done. I'm giving this fight to Lionheart Smith.
All right, man. Well, I mean, so for what it's worth, the odds, like I mentioned here, huge dog. He's coming in as a plus 400 on betonline.ag. Ankalaev, big favorite at a minus 600. So, you know, if you want to put that on a parlay and see, hopefully it cashes out. I mean, it really will boost those odds significantly. So. All right. Well, I was shocked at that. I thought one of us for sure was going to go Ankalaev, but the fact that we're both with Toxie here.
I think we're going to cash in Saturday night.
I'm hoping here. I'm hoping.
No sticky and no washy.
All right.
Cool. Okay, next fight on the main event card here is going to be a really good one here in the men's flyweight division. We have Alexander the Cannibal Pantoja versus what used to be actually a perennial contender in this division, I thought, for a little while. And Alex Perez, he actually had a shot previously against current champ Figueiredo a couple years back, was not able to pull off the victory there. So yeah, great fight again right here. You know, a couple midgets going at it in the 125 division. Yeah. We're still talking about two top six ranked guys here, or I should say fighters within the division. Alex Perez coming in as number 6. Pantoja is 4. I think the winner of this bout undoubtedly shoots up to the number 1 contender spot. Maybe you put another fight in front of him to see who then gets a shot at Figueiredo in terms of, because I think the winner of the Brandon Moreno-Kai France fight, which is later on in the same card here on 277, is going to get a shot again at Figueiredo. But yeah, it looks, I'd say, should be a pretty decent banger here. I think these guys are really going to let everything all out there because they know what's on the line and what's at stake here as far as the winner goes and what's coming up for him. Pantoja, to his credit, I think a little bit more active. Most recently here, some big wins against Brandon Royval and Manel Capet. Had that very close decision loss to Askar Askarov back in 2020. Perez has, you know, ever since he lost to Figueiredo in that title fight, he hasn't really done a whole lot within the division. He's had a lot of fights that just for some reason or another have been canceled, it seems, and against really good opponents over the last couple years here. So has not been very active, and of course he's coming off that last loss against Figueiredo. So I'm going to take Alexander Pantoja in this fight, Daniel. I think he has got what it takes here to, he's on a higher, I think, ascension here to be able to get a shot there ultimately here. He's earned it. He's really paid his dues throughout the years, and he's on that rise there too. I think this victory should cement his #1 status, and then eventually get him the next title shot after the winner of the Moreno-France fight gets then the winner, the shot of Figueroa.
Yeah, I like your take on that fight. I'm going to agree with you on the winner on this one. I think Pantoja, has been more active. Unfortunately, Alex Perez had like you said, a lot of canceled bouts, and his last fight being against Davidson Figueiredo, that ended in a guillotine choke in the very first round, as opposed to Pantoja, who also fought Figueiredo a couple of years ago, was able to go the distance with him. So I think that says a lot. But also, I think Pantoja's ground game is going to play a lot in this fight. These are two guys that are not afraid to stand up with each other, bang it out, and both are capable of knockouts. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Pantoja's ground game is going to play out a little bit in this fight, and possibly end in a submission. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe if Pantoja's cardio is better than Alex Perez's, and will probably tire him out, and maybe take it to the third round and possibly end it with a submission. But either way, I'm going to go with Pantoja on this one.
Nice. Yeah, we're both going to go with the cannibal here. So cool. The odds are stating about he's the first pick we have here. That's actually a favorite on the card. Pantoja's coming in as a -190. Alex Perez at a pretty decent dog bet there at +165. But if you want to go that route, these flyweight bouts always go the distance.
Yeah.
You look at that one right there. That the over is going to be easy -145. But yeah, I mean, if the finish is going to happen, it's definitely within Alexander Pantoja's repertoire to be able to pull off a move like that. So or win via that method. I mean, he's done it a number of times in his career, of course. I know you mentioned the last time coming up against Brandon Royval there. Yeah. So yeah, this we're both on the same page here with Pantoja getting a win over Alex Perez.
All right, the cannibal.
Eat, baby.
All right, guys, for our next bout, an exciting one in the heavyweight division. And this one's exciting because although Derek Lewis is not from Dallas, he's from Houston, he'll be fighting in his home state. So a lot of fans are going to be there to support him. The crowd's going to be going crazy. And yeah, man, expect a lot of heavy hand punches in the head, because that's what these guys are known for, right? We got Derek the Beast Lewis against Sergey Pavlovich. And Sergey Pavlovich right now is working his way up, man, on a tear with these first round finishes. And man, this guy just attacks, the way they both do. Now, I think the difference in this fight is going to be that the Beast, Derek Lewis, relies a lot on counters, on when he will finally attack. It's usually on a counter. But I'm going to give, in this fight, Pavlovich a little bit more credit than that. And also, Derek the Beast Lewis, he's obviously doesn't have the technical skills I think it takes. That if he were to get him up against the fence, it wouldn't be good for him, because Pavlovich has this explosiveness to him that it's actually going to create more problems for Derek the Beast Lewis. So I'm actually a little bit puzzled as to what Derek Lewis's game plan is going to be in this fight. Pavlovich's only loss coming to Alistair Overeem and the UFC was his first fight in the UFC, and the problems that Overeem was able to present in that fight are different types of problems because of his size and because of his technical skill, and he was able to pull off that W. Derek Lewis doesn't possess the same skills as Overeem does, obviously, and so like again, you know who I'm going with in this fight, just based on the way I'm talking. I'm going with Pavlovich with the KO in the first round.
Well, I get to throw in the method and the round there. I mean, we weren't doing that here previously, but yeah, I'm in total disagreement with you here. I'm going 100% the Black Beast to pull off what would be here an upset as well on paper as far as the odds are showing. Simply put, Pavlovich has not faced anybody like Derek Lewis before in the UFC. Okay, yeah, he's his stars rising there. He's 15-1. Had that big win there most recently back in March against Abdul Rakhimov, and Lewis has just fought killers recently, and it's his record, I think, aside from that Strogani loss and of course the one where they just threw caution to win against Bam Bam, he actually was putting out really, really good fighters within a division. Yeah, he relies a lot on counters, but it's not, he can attack himself when need be here. These guys are probably just going to go in there like a couple of bulls early on and see how, see who falls first, I think is what might happen here. And I think Derek Lewis has got the patience, I think, it's hard to not give him technical expertise because he is just he has won fights on his technicality here. But, this could be a gatekeeper match for Pavlovich. I mean, Lewis is ranked 5th. He's going up against now the 11th ranked guy within a division. Try and shake that up a little bit, especially what happened after the Aspinall Blades fight last week. But I like Lewis here for the upset, and I think more so than anything, I just want to see what he says after he gets to win the octagon there with Joe Rogan, because he's infamous for spitting out some pretty decent one-liners after he gets a big win.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off? My balls was hot. I understand.
Especially you mentioned in his hometown state of Texas here. Odds are saying leaning your way here on the end. Pavlovich is coming in as a -138. Derek Lewis, like I said, not terribly bad as a dog here, as a +118. Someone's going to sleep, I think, in this bout, and that's normally the way these things go as far as the heavyweight bouts go with especially two big boys like this, and both with still a lot left to prove. So cool. I mean, it's first disagreement here, man. We have
first disagreement there.
Lewis and Pavlovich. There you go.
All right. There you go.
Okay, the next fight we're going to cover here on UFC 277 right here on the Rear Naked Toke is the co-main event of the night, and that is big fight here with a lot of title implications within the men's flyweight division. We have Brandon, of course, the Assassin Baby Moreno, versus Kai Don't Blink Kara France. So, I'll take the reins on this one to begin, Daniel. Both should be a hell of a fight, right? I mean, we're talking here two of the best within the division, both, of course, ranked in the top 5 there. Moreno coming off those wars with Figueiredo, right? I mean, he's fought the guy 3 times now. First one, of course, was a draw. The second one, Moreno pulled off what was at the time everyone considered to be a huge upset. We didn't think so, and we were backing him the whole way. I remember that fight. And then he ended up losing the belt subsequently again later on to Figueiredo. So, been in some battles, like I mentioned himself, and he's just battle tested at this point. I think for what's on the flip side of the coin here, you got somebody who is really trying to prove his worth within not only within the UFC's men's flyweight division, but I think within his own camp in City Kickboxing, right, with Kai Kara France. And this is his opportunity to be able to go in there and get a win here, and especially earn himself this title shot that he's been working so hard to get, up to this point. So it should be a hell of a fight. Great that it's 5 rounds, right? Because flyweight bouts generally, even after the end of 3 rounds, you're like, well, okay, in a close fight, you're like, it'd be great to get another round or 2 in there, right, to really determine a winner.
Yeah, totally.
I actually do like Kai Kara France in this fight, and to get the win over the baby assassin here. I think Moreno's just. I'm looking at this from a fan's point of view within the UFC. I want us to just see somebody else go up against Figueiredo for the strap, right? I mean, we've seen these Moreno and Figueiredo fight 3 times now. Do we want to see a 4th? I think again. Let's put somebody else in front of Moreno. I think, but yeah, this is whoever wins this gets a crack at him, and I like it to be Kai Kara France too. Hopefully, maybe you get 3 champs within that city kickboxing camp there. You got Izzy and Volk being the other ones. Kai Kara France could very well be the 3rd, and I think that's ultimately what's going to happen. But it's got to get past Moreno first this Saturday, which is who I got.
Hard task Absolutely. Ahead of Don't Blink Kai Kara France. All right. So I think I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one.
Let's hear it.
I just think that Brandon Moreno. So this is the way I see the fight playing out. Kai Kara France definitely lives up to his name. Don't blink, because he'll catch you. Now, we've seen Davison Figueiredo catch Brandon Moreno a couple of times, tag him, and we did see Brandon Moreno come back from adversity.
I know what you were saying.
Adversity, and get that and get the draw at least in that very first fight, because everybody thought Davidson was going to take that fight.
Right.
Okay, it is possible that the assassin Brandon Moreno can take some shots from Kai Kara-France, but I don't see it finishing the fight. I do see Brandon Moreno getting tagged up a couple of times, but this is where Brandon Moreno's really good. He's really good in the pocket and head movement and tagging you with some boxing combinations that are pretty impressive that I've seen in slow motion. And if he can be successful in those in this fight, I think he's going to take Kai Kara-France to deep water in this fight once it goes into the 4th and 5th. I think it's going to go the distance with Moreno winning by unanimous decision in this fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, after what I've seen Kai Kara-France do to previous opponents, especially that last big win he had against Cody No Love Garbrandt, where he just stalked him like prey within the ring there, and I'm telling you, man, this is going to be another upset for me, because the odds dictate that Moreno is coming in as a favorite at a -210, and you have Kai Kara-France coming in as a +180. I think it's like we mentioned, hell of a fight, great co-main event here. They did a good job here, I think, leading up to what ultimately is going to be next fight we cover here in the main event. So this should be should be a hell of a fight. Yeah.
What we agree on is that we want to see a new contender against Figueiredo,
right?
For the strap,
of course. But if Moreno wins, then I think he gets another shot. Right? So I mean, we both want to see France. I would love to see.
I would love to see France too, but we're going to disagree on this one.
Yeah, that's all right, man. That's good. That's good. We'll see how it plays out this Saturday night in Dallas.
All right.
Okay, now on to the main event of the night. This is going to be the women's bantamweight title bout between current champion Juliana, the Venezuelan vixen, Peña, versus Amanda, the Lioness Nunes. So this, of course, the second time around for these two, and they just got out of their The Ultimate Fighter filming The Ultimate Fighter together opposite each other. Peña, of course, got that, what was largely considered to be the biggest upset in women's UFC history here, with that last fight where she ended up, subbing Nunes right in that second round, which was phenomenal. I think nobody saw that coming. She was coming in as a huge underdog as well. So it's going to be, I think, just a great fight here. I'm hoping that they are able here, to extend it past the second round. It's highly likely because Nunes is coming out for blood. I think she feels that she just was, I don't know, maybe not in the right mind. She had just become a mom not too long prior to that, and
you mean a dad?
Well, you're right, exactly. Good. Well, yeah, because she's Amanda.
Right.
She's a man.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so
she's a man.
Duh.
Amanda.
So I think she's gonna be she's coming out with a chip on her shoulder, like she's got something to prove, and you kind of see it in the promos. You'll probably see it in the pressers coming up later this week. I believe though that Juliana Peña will retain her strap, and I just think she's just unfazed. I mean, she just beat her prior, in the last time around. And Peña is, let's face it, I think, she's a more, I think, charismatic champion for the bantamweight division. Nunes just does it because she just, she wants to prove that she is, of course, she's the champ, one of the few champs in UFC history. I just think now it's time to pass the torch here, and she did it. She did it the last time around, and I think at this point she's gonna run into, I think, of even a better equipped Juliana Peña, and who will retain Peña as the women's bantamweight champion. So I'm calling it right now. I don't know what method. I mean, it's possible you might see her finish again here. Could go either way, of course, when it comes to the finishes. But I like her, and I think she's just she's the new face, I think, of the women's MMA within the UFC organization, and I think she represents it well, and she carries herself well, and yeah, let's see what happens here. But I like her. I like her to beat Amanda Nunes this week, man. So, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that I disagree with you again. So this is similar to a couple of weeks ago where we were disagreeing on pretty much every fight.
Right.
So I mean,
That's good.
Yeah. It always makes for a more interesting card.
Of course. We'll get into it too during the card here too, and kind of tease each other right after who.
Oh yeah,
if we get it right.
Yeah.
But anyway, so your take on why?
So Nunes, she's basically like a highlight reel, for the past couple of years, until she ran into Felicia Spencer with a unanimous decision win there, and also Duran also. But you're not the king of the weight division, of the 135 division there. If you didn't possess just these ultimate MMA skills and fighting skills. So with that being said, I just think Amanda Nunes, every champ, it gets very comfortable, and that's what we saw the last time with Nunes and Pena. We just saw her get comfortable as a champ, looking beyond her. She just became a father. She has so many things on her mind. So
I think the little girl does call her mom, but yeah.
It happens to every champ, It happens to every champ that is just unstoppable. What Amanda Nunes does this time around is she goes home, she's pissed. Her and her team, they review the tape, they watch the tape, as painful as it is, they watch it over and over again. They make the adjustments, they go back into the octagon, and they get the W. Do I think it's going to be easy? No, I don't think it's going to be easy, man. I think Pena trains hard, but let's not forget this. When a new champion such as Pena becomes, as famous as she does, she's bombarded with attention, bombarded with press, bombarded with interviews, and that does take away from your training. So, the reason she became champion was because she was training so damn hard to beat the Lion. I think it's going to be the opposite this time around. And shit, man, I gotta disagree with you. I think Amanda Nunes is going to either get the TKO in either the third round, or take it to deep water and just get the unanimous win.
Well, she has come out and said that the loss reignited her passion for fighting. She became complacent. She just, I get it. It's she was just like the best that the UFC's women bantamweight division had ever seen, right? And she wore that belt proudly, and I think to a degree you're right there. She actually did get maybe just a little lazy. She became Rocky in Rocky 3, right on the front end of it, right, as far as the comparison goes. But yeah, man, I just think you're right. Pena's done a lot of pressers on the back end of her run here. She's made a lot of appearances. She's been mingling with the fans a lot. Doesn't mean to me though that she has not been preparing for this fight, because she knew it was coming. Yeah. They just got done doing tough. So yeah, this should be a great main event. You don't get too many of them within the women's divisions here. So for them to headline 277 on already what looks to be a pretty solid card, top to bottom here, those fights on that main card. I think it should just be a hell of a fight, which is what we always want to see in a main event. Hopefully we don't suffer an injury again like we did the last two cards right in a main event. Total BS. To your credit, yeah, of course, Nunes is coming in as a minus 270 to Pena's plus 230. So we're talking about here like a 500-point swing between the two of them. Those odds might close a little bit in my opinion, but we'll towards closer to fight night. But yeah, hell of a dog for a champion, man, to go in there and to be defending her strap, right?
Right. Oh yeah, totally, man. Yeah, totally.
All right, so that will do it for us on the Rear Naked Toke episode 5, where we're covering 277 this Saturday, Dallas, Texas, American Airlines Arena. Stick with us next week, where we will be covering UFC Fight Night, or I should say UFC on ESPN, and that is a light heavyweight clash between Thiago Santos and Jamal Hill.
Hell yeah. Gonna be an awesome one.
Yeah, it should be great.
So don't forget to comment your guys' picks down below. Again, we always offer a free eighth if you get 100% of the main card right.
If you go 5-0, yeah, it's coming your way.
Yeah, definitely. So don't forget to do that. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week for episode 6 of the Rear Naked Toke.
Toke it easy.